Hello everybody, I am Scott from the Barton Brothers, I guess, and I've got a guitar here that needs a little bit of repair, and I'd like to give you a little bit of a background story about it. My sister and her grandson, makes him my great nephew, went to Guitar Center out in Texas to get himself a guitar and look at some other things, and I don't know if they were specifically there to get a guitar, but they were there looking at guitars and stuff like that. So he was interested in the Gibson SG, the Tony Iommi model. And he brought it up to the counter and set it up against the counter. As he set it up against the counter, he turned away to talk to grandma or some salesman, and the guitar fell over and broke on the floor, broke the headstock completely off. So my sister ended up having to buy the guitar. Luckily they sold it to her at cost, and they sold it to her in this case. This case, it's upside down, but it says it right there, Tony Iommi, Gibson SG Tony Iommi. And this is the case they gave it to her in. So let's show you the guitar. We have a broken headstock and the guitar. As we all know, in cases, these models are designed to sit resting here on the end and resting in the neck, while this piece free floats in the case. You can't have anything touching it. It applies too much pressure. It could easily cause a problem. And I believe that is the case in this, because this thing fits back together very, very well. As a matter of fact, before I get too stupid, I'm gonna remove this and remove this. So this thing fits back together very, very well. On the top, you can see there's some missing lacquer. It broke down to that. And on the back, which I don't want to get too crazy now, but on the back, it just fits together very, very well. Very minimal crack, but it is a clean break. There are no missing pieces of wood. There's no missing lacquer, aside from some of this on top. But ultimately, and what I'm looking at here is when this thing was in one piece, whoo, that's just a solid, tight fit. Just lost another piece. That's what happens when you mess with it too many times. I noticed that putting it in here, it rests on the head, on here, no resting here, and on the back. So right now, at this moment, it's being supported by the base and the very tip of the head. These Gibsons have a very much sharper headstock angle than any of the Ibanez's or Jacksons and others along that similar design, the 6 on one side. So I've noticed that when it was sitting here like this, and I let go of it, until it gets down to this point, there is too much stress going on here. So ultimately, in one piece, it's being supported here and it's being supported at the other end. You close this case lid, now all you've got is pressure on the nut and pressure on this back piece, causing strain upon this, because it's only about 1/8 of an inch, maybe 1/4 of an inch. I'm going to say 1/4 of an inch. And you could see it breaks right down there. So with this lid down in storage in the back of Guitar Center or at the individual's house who sold it to Guitar Center, a strain was being put on this. The neck is mahogany. I believe it's mahogany. So that is my hypothesis. Now the other problem we have is how the hell do we fix it? 2 dowels down here, 2 dowels down there, 2 dowels this way, 2 dowels that way, epoxy, Gorilla wood glue. That's my dilemma. Let me know in the comments what you think should be done. Thank you for watching.